In this video, we're going to talk about pipes in Nest.js. Pipes really have two core use cases, as you can see here: transformation and validation. So far in the series, we've been building this ninjas API, a CRUD API, that allows you to manage an army of ninjas. There's a couple places here that could still benefit from the addition of pipes. For example, notice that we're constantly transforming our IDs to a number here. What if we could just do that automatically using a pipe? So there's a couple built-in pipes that you can use. One of them is the parseInt pipe. You can see we have parseInt pipe here, but there's a couple other ones, like for example, parseArray pipe, parseBool pipe. So remember that our URL parameters are coming in as a string. So there's a lot of situations where you might want to automatically transform those parameters into an actual, TypeScript or JavaScript type. So a simple example in our case is to simply do a parseInt pipe. Then we should be able to change this to a number, and our code is back to being happy again, right? So this is now coming in as a number. And as you can see, if we request ninja/1, it's correctly getting us back that ID, that ninja with the ID of 1. So that's a simple example of one of the built-in pipes in Nest.js. You can create custom pipes. Again, the two purposes for a pipe is to either transform data or validate data. So if you wanted to do any custom transformations to the data that's coming in even before it gets to your controller and service methods, that's what pipes are for. Now, pipes come really in handy when it comes to validating a request body. If you remember in our earlier videos, we tried to create a ninja with the wrong weapon. We used the stick weapon, which is not really part of what we expect. It would be great if we can validate that a ninja has to have, one of the specific weapons, or maybe that their name has to be a certain length. So what we're going to do is within our create ninja DTO, we're going to install something new to our application. We're going to install class validator and class transformer. Now, if you're not familiar with class validator, you can kind of think of it as just a couple extra set of decorators that you can add to your classes. So for example, in their example here, they have a string that has to have a length between 10 and 20. They have a number here that has a min and max. They want a text here that has to have hello inside it. It can do patterns like emails, dates, phone numbers. So there's a bunch of custom decorators here that you can take advantage of for your own application. In our case, let's try something simple, perhaps a min length class validator. So let's maybe provide this with 3. So the name when you create a new ninja has to be at least 3 letters. Now, right now, all we're doing is providing additional metadata to this class. In order for Nest.js to take advantage of these decorators, we need to add a specific pipe called the validation pipe. So in our post request here, in our body decorator, we're going to add the validation pipe. This is another one of those built-in pipes that Nest.js has, which specifically looks at your DTOs, your objects, and checks to see what are these annotations that you have on there, and then compares it with the object that's coming in. So if we go back to testing our application, post 3000/ninjas, and let's provide a request body that has, let's test it out first with the long name. This should work because it's more than 3 characters. If we hit send, we'll get back this should work, right? But if we were to reduce this to just 2 characters and hit send, we get back a 400 bad request. So it automatically assumes that if an exception is thrown during the validation phase in the validation pipe, respond with a 400. And you can see that it also tells you in the response what happened. It says that name must be longer than or equal to 3 characters. And this is something that client applications can take advantage of. For example, maybe you want to display that error message on a form, right? As you're adding ninjas, you say that your ninja has to have a longer name. All right, so we can see that that's working. But we also said that it would be great if we can validate the type of weapon that they're using, right? It has to be either the stars or the nunchucks. So let's extend this a little bit more and add perhaps an isEnum decorator here And let's say that it needs to be stars or nunchucks. And then know that you can even provide custom messages for when it fails. So let's say use correct weapon, and let's test this out. So the name here should pass the length validation, but now when we send this, it should say that again 400 bad request, use correct weapon, right? So this is a pretty useful pattern to know about, and know that you can use other types of validators. You don't have to use class validator. For example, you can use joy if you ever used that before. The reason that I recommend class validator is because it just feels cohesive to the rest of the framework, right? Everything in Nest.js is really classes with annotations, with decorators. So that's pipes in a nutshell. We're almost done with our crash course here. There's one more topic that I'd like to cover before we finish, which is guards. That's how you protect your routes. So make sure to head on over to the next video.